Okay, like I said last time, we're going to do some conversions. There it is. Now, what is a conversion? A conversion is simply me going from one unit, like a foot, to another unit, like a meter. And you need to know how to do that. So let me get my handy dandy calculator, which is my phone, 4% battery life. We're going to do however much it can do. Okay, we got this. We got this. There we are. I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications. Why am I getting so many notifications? We'll leave it there. So, like I said, we're going from one unit system to another. So, how do we do that? I'll show you through example. Don't worry, there's other examples built in this PowerPoint, but this is what I'm just going to do by hand. So, let's say we have 1,000 feet. Why 1,000 feet? Because you measure something and it was 1,000 feet long. But your friend only works in meters, or his program only works in meters. So we need to go from feet to meters. To do that, type it in Google. Okay, I'm somewhat kidding about that, but in all reality, if you're working on your homework, just typing it in Google will get you most of the answers very, very quickly when it comes to conversions. But you still need to know how to do it on your own because you're taking exams, you're taking quizzes, learn how to do it. Okay, so the first step is looking at unit conversion. Your book has a whole bunch of them built into it, so check it. Otherwise, you can just memorize them yourself. Just a few of them will help you get really far. So first off, what I'm going to learn is that 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. If I want to go from 1,000 feet to meters, I'm going to use this unit conversion. Now, how do I use it? Well, I do something called the train track method. So that's 1,000 feet. I start here, and then I draw a train track. Now, as a note, this doesn't look like a real train track. That would be more like a real train track. My cousin would probably get on to me about this, but we call it the train track method. If you've taken chemistry, you've seen this. And since you're in thermodynamics, you've taken chemistry. Okay, now I use my unit conversion. Now when I'm doing the train track method, the unit always moves at a diagonal. So I have feet on the bottom, and this guy right here is a unit conversion. Well, I have one written down, so I'm going to put it in place. So feet's on the bottom, so I attach 3.28 there. 1 meter goes on the top. And units, just like numbers, can cancel. So I got feet on the top, feet on the bottom, they cancel, and whatever I get here at the end will therefore be in meters. So now I'm going to go ahead and plug in my calculator. 1,000 divided by 3.28. That comes out to be 304.87804. That is too many sig figs. Just so you know, technically you should only have like 3 to 4 sig figs. What's a significant figure? It's anything that is not a 0 on the beginning or end. So that right there will be 4 sig figs. And that's probably what I should stop at. Get rid of the rest of those. If you give me too many in my courses, I don't typically penalize you. However, people will look at you weird in real life. So please make sure that you're actually being careful about that. And as a note, so I don't get angry emails or comments, I should have rounded that up to be 304.9 because it was 0.87. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's try something a little bit harder here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try out going from, let's do it here. We're going to go from 17.5 meters, and I'm going to go to inches. Okay, inches, I don't off the top of my head know a conversion from meters to inches. Some of you might. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to write down a conversion I know from feet to inches. I know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and I've got a path now, meter to foot, foot to inch. I can probably solve this thing. So let's develop our train track method. 17.5 meters. Okay. The unit moves down, so meter here. I look at my unit conversions. This guy doesn't have meters. This guy does. So 1 meter, 3.28 feet. Now if I stopped here, I would have feet. I don't want feet. I want inches. So I have to do another step. So 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay, that's my next conversion. My unit went diagonally. Perfect. Feet cancels. Only unit left is inches here, so it's going good. I can go ahead and solve this. So what do? I plugged in my calculator. I multiply everything on the top, I divide by everything on the bottom, and I get a number. Let's see what it is. 17.5 times 3.28 times 12. And I get 688.8 inches. Okay, there we go. So this is the basic way how to do unit conversions. I'm going to do one more example with you, and if you have more questions, if you need more examples, feel free to add a comment, send me an email, whatever you need to do, and we will go from there. You know what, there's a faster way of doing this, isn't there? Let's see, eraser, erase all ink on slide. There we go. So let's do one more. This one I'm going to do something slightly different. We're going to go from 45 miles per hour to meters per second. And you're like, whoa, yes, there's multiple units here. I'm having to convert multiple units. As a note, MPH is equal to miles over hour. Miles over hour. So let's try this out here. Now, whenever I'm doing a unit conversion that has multiple different units, what I like to do is first I write it out. Okay, 45 miles per hour. I'm going to have to go from hours to second and miles to meters. Okay. But what I like to do is I like to separate them. So I take 45 miles off. I'm going to convert that by itself. I take hours off. I'm going to convert that by itself. And then at the end, I will bring those two back together, whatever they come to, and divide them to get my final answer. So let's go ahead and do that. First off, 45 miles to meters, because I'm going to do meters per second. Okay, now I'm going to need another unit conversion, which I know is 1 mile. I'm putting it up here so it's out of the way. It's equal to 5,280 feet. So let's do that. So 45 miles. Okay, that's looking good. And I have 1 mile is 5,280 feet. And 3.28 feet is 1 meter. That's looking good. I like it a lot. If I plug that in my calculator, what do I get? Let's see here. 45 times 5,280 times 1, and I'm going to divide it by 3.28. That comes out to be, woo, that's a lot of meters. 72,439 meters. As a note, if I'm doing sig figs, I could have cut this at 72,440 and been just fine. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now. Okay, now we're going to convert that hour to seconds. So 1 hour. Well, how many minutes are in an hour? I think you know that. 1 hour is 60 minutes. And how many minutes, or how many seconds are in a minute? 1 minute is 60 seconds. Well, if I multiply that out, I get that that is 3,600 seconds. As a note, you probably realize is I don't cancel my units often. Like I don't usually go through here and mark through them. When you're first doing this, you probably should just so you can check yourself. But don't feel like you have to. Okay, now I'm going to divide these two numbers. So I put this in my calculator, 72,439 meters divided by 3,600 seconds. And I get that that is equal to 20.12 meters per second. Whoop, jump past it. Okay, so with that, we've done a whole bunch of conversions now. I say a whole bunch, it's okay, it's not that many. But we've done some conversions now. Hopefully you've seen the methodology you'll need to solve a whole bunch of these problems. Now with that, I'll stop here. If you need more examples, please feel free to ask me. I'll do some more for you. And let's keep on going through thermodynamics. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.